Hi, I'm Lauren, and this is Hollywood Party, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the second book in the Garden of Allah series by Martin Turnbull called The Trouble with Scarlett. You can download it for free on his website, martinturnbull.com. I'm not getting paid for it, I'm just letting you know because it's free and free stuff is great. This is the second series with the three main characters. Marcus, who is at this point kind of helping out F. Scott Fitzgerald, who did live at the Garden of Allah for a while he was continuing his stint as a total alcoholic. So that's a really kind of a fun storyline, was Marcus's storyline. The other character is Catherine, and she's working for The Hollywood Reporter as kind of like a gossip columnist. And I love her storyline in this book because she's dealing with, a lot of the time, with Luella Parsons, who is such a freaking bitch in real life. And what happens with them, like at the very end of the book, oh, it was so good. So I'm not going to give it away, but Luella Parsons is in the book a lot. And she kind of is in the series a lot, like up and down, just stirring stuff up because she's a douche and incontinent, which is not mentioned in the book but should have been. Yeah, Catherine, she doesn't really have any like love interests, so it's mostly just her work stuff, which is kind of revolving around Gone with the Wind, because this whole entire book is taking place around the casting of and getting together of Gone with the Wind, which is my favorite movie and my favorite book. So knowing that going in, anytime I read a book that has to do with Gone with the Wind, I was like, oh god, are you gonna like screw this up? Like Touch of Stardust, that book stunk, and I'm glad I got it for free as a hard copy from TCM. Not good, and I might do a review on it because it stunk so hard. I might do it just to tell you how bad it sucked. But this book was not that. It was really, really well done. I mean, if you know anything about Gone with the Wind, you know how it ends. He doesn't mess with it. It's not like one of the main characters becomes Scarlett, but that is kind of the biggest storyline, is Gwendolyn, who's like this southern blonde little wannabe starlet. She's trying to get cast as Scarlett, and it's so fun to like watch her just fail. I mean, you know how Gone with the Wind gets made. It's going to be Vivien Leigh. I mean, if you didn't know that, sorry, that's like a spoiler alert, 85 years in the making or whatever. But it's so fun to watch her just like, oh my god, she's almost going to make it. Ugh. She meets David O. Selznick's wife, and who is also the daughter of Louis B. Mayer. I really like her in real life and in the book. Irene Mayer Selznick. She wrote an autobiography. I will be reviewing that. It was freaking amazing. She was so smart, and if she probably was around today, she could have done a lot more, because that's just how it was back then. As you're a woman, you couldn't do that much. But she's in the book, and just all these like, poor Gwendolyn's almost gonna make it, and then no, and almost and no. Ugh, it's fun to read. It's almost like a slapstick comedy. Like when I was reading it, I was just like, oh my god, this could be on I Love Lucy, this could be a Carol Lombard thing. Like, it's just funny and fun to read. And I'm not giving anything away by saying that at all. It was really fun. Like, I know a lot about Gone with the Wind, so it was fun for me, but you don't have to know a lot about it to read the book. It ends at Christmas time in 1938, or like the beginning of 1939, when it's announced that Vivien Leigh is going to be Scarlett. The next book is going to pick back up with like what the movie was like the premiere and all that, and how good it was and how much of a smash hit it was. So that's fun to read as well. I'm already reading the third book as I tape this. But it's really fun. I'm trying to think of anything else. I don't want to give any spoilers. I'm trying not to do that, but it's really hard to do without spoiling it. So I won't say anything else. I won't. It's really good, and since it's free, like, pick it up. I downloaded it, and I read it on my, like, whatever, my little iPhone or my iPad. It's really good. And since this month, May 2017, the star of the month on TCM is Clark Gable, it's definitely appropriate to read. Clark isn't really in the book, but he's in Gone with the Wind, so maybe pick it up and then go watch TCM Star of the Month, Clark Gable, which, I'm going to give you a little opinion. Clark Gable, I love him. He's awesome. Like, probably my favorite movie star, period, because there's nobody like him now or then. It was just him. But reading the comments on TCM, they put out this really cool promo for the Star of the Month. I'll link it down below. It's really well done. Reading the comments on Facebook, like just what people have to say, I'm like, you guys didn't even know him. And I think that about anything, even if it was an actor I didn't like. But they're just like, bad breath, bad breath. Probably, yeah, he did have dentures. But everyone back then smoked. I've never walked up to a smoker and been like, that's some good breath you got. So I'm gonna lump him and everyone from like 1930s, 40s, 50s, and 60s who smoked, bad breath. So him, any other hot person, everyone who thinks Cary Grant's better, he smoked, his breath probably stunk too. So keep that in mind if that's like your flaw on Gable. They did have toothbrushes back then and mouthwash, so probably wasn't bad all the time. But anyways, pick up the Martin Turnbull book on his website. I'll link it below. And then I'll come back with the next review about Citizen Hollywood, which is going to be about Orson Welles and Citizen Kane and all that fun, crazy scandal that went on. And if you don't know anything about that, that's a good one, because Orson Welles is kind of a douche. In a fun way. Like, he's really smart and could be a douche. And then Hollywood took him down because they could. So I'll be back talking to you about that. So happy reading. Bye.